Hello, how are you? I'm Denelle, and this is my Cross Stitch Flosstube channel, the Sky Blue Stitcher, and I'm here for my second, well, really my first update since I did my whip parade and introduction video last time. And I just want to start off by saying such a huge thank you to everybody who took the time, one, to watch, and then also to leave the sweetest comments. I was just humbled and blown away and so encouraged that other stitchers out there were willing to give me a chance, and also just to pay such kind compliments. I knew stitchers are the nicest people, but y'all just really showed up. So honestly, if I hadn't had such a good response, I don't know if I would have even done it again. I've had the courage to do it again because I was such a wreck. Such a wreck. So anyway, thank you, all of you who left the comments and were just so sweet and reached out to me. And also, I learned that it really matters. So I need to do a better job of leaving comments when all of you go to all the trouble of making a Flosstube, because it's nerve-wracking. It's a little scary to put yourself out there, and it actually takes a fair bit of time. So anyway, I just want to say huge thank you. So encouraged, and I'm just gonna roll on, mistakes and all, and continue. So I have an update on my family stuff, our moving adventure, but I will leave that at the very end, and I will put timestamps on again so that those who are not interested in the personal stuff don't have to listen. Although it is going to be, we're going in a direction I didn't know we were going to go. And whew, alrighty then, let it all begin. I completely trust my husband, so this is just, alrighty then, this is what we're going to do. It's out of the box and in the box at the same time. We're going to be living in a box. Anyway, more about that later. I will say, though, that the big thing today is everybody's getting ready in the southeast for a storm. We have an ice storm. It's supposed to be epic ice storm coming this weekend, so everybody's running around trying to get things done. I was gone all day yesterday, just errand after errand after errand, and everybody's getting ready to hunker down for the weekend and possibly part of next week. Schools have been canceled, even though it's sunny and 45 today. It's beautiful today. School's canceled, church is canceled, or at least we're going to do it on Zoom, and we're all going to the grocery store. That's what you do in Tennessee. You run to Kroger and get milk and bread like you're going to run out of food. We are not going to run out of food. We have 3 months of food in the pantry, in the freezer, but we still all got to go to the store. And actually, it's kind of fun. There's like a little bit of excitement in the air when there's a big weather thing coming. We love our weather in Tennessee. We talk about it all the time. But the other stuff I'll save to the very end. I actually made a few notes, and they're right there. So this week, I have an FFO. I have 2 new starts, and I have progress on 11 projects. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's see. My first is my FFO. Well, I need to put the back on it. So I'm going to actually run to Hobby Lobby, get all my threads, get all my stuff for finishing today, since I'm going to have extra time this weekend at home. So this is I showed this last week, but here is Snowy Wren. And whoops, it goes this way. All finished except for the back. I mean, okay, here's my back. It's laced. I need to put the faux leather that I like on the back, but here it is. I will put the information in the bottom, but this is by Elle Noonan. It was in Just Cross Stitch magazine, and you can buy this as a separate PDF on Etsy or wherever. But I did decide to put the little snowflake in. I thought it was kind of cute. And I finished the cabin and I just love it. So I have another little winter decoration. This is on 32 count Murano in Spa, and I did it 1/2. So there's that, my one FFO for the week. And I have a new start. I thought I'd start with that. I got inspired Sunday, Sunday we had a guest preacher at church, and he was talking a lot about Martin Luther King Day and other things, but he mentioned this scripture of Micah 6:8 a fair bit, and I was like, I need to think about that some more. I really want to think about that some more. So here is, I think it's called, I don't know the name, Love Mercy or Act Justly. I think it's called Act Justly. But here it is, what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I am doing mine on another piece of Murano in Spa. I love blue, so clearly. But this is my start. So I started in the middle, so I've got Love Mercy in there. And so I've got some more words to do, and then a border. It'll be a real quick finish, and then I'd like to fully finish this in a frame, I think. Whenever. But so anyway, act justly, love mercy, walk humbly, is that one. So anyway, that's one of my smaller new starts. And then I got a little more done on my anniversary piece. I'll put it up here. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's called Put a Bird on It. And so here's where I was before, and here's where I'm at now. So I did more in the middle, in that blue motif in the middle. So there you go. That's what it looks like. There you go. And I did remember the flosses this time. These are the 4 flosses that I chose for my 4 colors. Let's see if I can show those. I think those are real pretty. I think it's 3 of them are, 3 of those are Gentle Arts, and then 1 is Color and Cotton. And if anybody's interested, I could tell you the colors, but I just eyeballed it, picked some things I liked that I thought would be pretty. I'm very fond of blues and greens, or anything that leans toward teal. So I just loved that. But anyway, that's where I'm at now. It's so pretty, and I'm really enjoying the 1/2 stitch more than I thought I would. Even though Christmas is well over, I think I mentioned last time that I'm working on this piece. Here it is finished. And I'm going to my plan is to do 1 letter per month to get it ready for Christmas. Let's see if I stick to that. But, so I did the C and the H before, and now I added the R. And I fully stitched it, and I also got the back stitch in there. And it's kind of fun to look at the before and after for the back stitch. So I'm going to put that up here, the before the back stitch and after the back stitch, because I think that it makes such a difference, and it encourages you to do your back stitching. Okay, so next up is my Fish and Ships by Long Dog Sampler. This is what it looks like when it's finished. And this is where I was before. And this is where I'm at now. So before and after, if I figure that out. So I got a fair bit done. I worked down here. I got all of this done right here. So now I'm at the bottom of the piece. So there you go. I really like doing that. And the number of the thread I'm using is DMC 3021. It's a dark gray brown. And the fabric again is Fiber on a Whim in Stream 18 count Aida. It's a real pretty sky blue. So I do love that. Sky blue is my favorite color. Everything is blue. Everything is blue. Blues and browns. So, okay. I'm so glad that I showed you all this piece because it made me realize I still love it and I still want to get it done. And it had been like probably a year or two since I had touched it. So this is the Woodland Walk by the Drawn Thread on 32 count Belfast khaki linen, 2/2. And here's where I was before last time I showed you, and this is how much I've added. So I'm so glad I picked it up. I'm not as scared of the specialty stitches as I thought I would be. Let's see if that shows where I'm at. So I did up here. So I started the Columbine flowers right here. And I got the little cabin done, and I've got the trees to do over here, but I'm back in love with this piece, and I'm so glad. I think Flosstube reminded me how much I like this, and that I've actually come a long way as a stitcher. I'm a little more brave than I used to be. Okay, and then I'm going to show you Holly Jolly Reindeer. Here's what he looks like when he's done, and this is Treaures Nook. Again, I don't know if that's right. I should probably write those down, but I'll put it in the bottom. And this is where I was. And this is where I'm at. So he has ears. He's so cute. He has ears and his face is more filled in. And you can see I'm starting his antlers here. I'm going to keep working on him. I know Christmas is over, but it's still winter, very much winter, and he's adorable, and I love him, and I want to see him done. And like I said, it's only about 4,000 stitches, so I'm probably close to half done on that one. So Holly Jolly Reindeer. And then this one is Girl Sewing Girl, one of those things, Hannah Levchuk by My Brave Stitch. Here's what it will look like when it's done. And here's how far I was the last time I showed it to you. I did some work on this, and here's where she is now. I got a fair bit done. Let's see, on this one. I gotta get better at this. Practice. Here we go. 32 count Lugana mystery taupe from Mystic Fabrics. And I worked on this section here. I got the sewing box here and more of the legs done. And I'm going to try to fill this whole part in and then move that way. So, and that's, like I mentioned before, if you watched my whip parade, this is going to be for my daughter. And I used all the called for, except for I made 2 changes. One is I turned the brunette into a blonde, and I changed the taupey fabric into bright pink because I thought that would show up better. So that's that. And I did also work on my other Hannah Levchuk piece. This is another girl in a circle. This is Girl in Autumn Window, and here's what it will look like when it's done. And here is where I was the last time I showed it, and I did some work on her as well. So here's where she is now. I filled in, I think around here. I am missing a color, so I couldn't finish her foot. But I said before in my my whip parade that this is going to be for my daughter-in-law, who I think of her when I look at this picture. And I explained why in the last thing, but she looks like this, she sits like this, she has a sweet, well, she had a sweet gray cat. Now she has 2 other cats. That gray cat is in heaven now, waiting on her. But anyway, I have, gosh, I'm almost done. Is that all I have? Yeah. I've only got 2 more to show you. It's going to be a short video. That's probably not a bad thing. Let's see, I have a new start. and I'm super excited about this. I've had this on my radar for a while. Here is Drifting in the Pines. It doesn't say who the artist is. I know it's legit though because it's a golden kite. So I don't know why the artist is not listed, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of so many blues, and it is full coverage, and it's about 250 by 250, so it's not really, really big. It has a gajillion shades of blue in it. So I just started it, so this is my start. So I got about 500 stitches in as a beginning. I usually like to get 1,000 in before I put something up, but as you can see, it's going to be a lot of blues, a lot of greens until I get to that boat, which is at the bottom. And I thought I would show you the other thing about this golden kite is that it is, I think it's about like 110, 120 colors, something like that. About 3/4 of them are, well, maybe half are blends. And I'm sure there's lots of ways to tackle a cross stitch that has a lot of blends, but I thought I would show you what I do. So, and also I'm doing this on CXC threads, this is my second project on CXC threads. And I forgot to mention that I'm doing this on, that's not even right. That's upside down. There we go. I'm doing this on 20 count gridded aida, 2/1, and I really like the coverage on it, the CXC. It has its issues, but you know, I like it. So this is my thread right here. Look at all the blues. Oh, look at all the blues. It's like sky blue heaven. I love this. And these aren't even all of them. I have to go to Hobby Lobby today to get the rest of them. So I'm going to have a mix of DMC and that. But so I have a stand, and then I stuck a hook on one of the arms that is for the pattern. I don't need the pattern because I use Pattern Keeper, and it goes in perfectly, by the way. This is my first golden kite, so I didn't know how things were going to go, but it's great. So I just have them numbered, and I do the lowest number on this side. I make my own floss drops, and I put the smaller number here, the bigger number here, and then I just do Rolodex style and flop. So I've got 3 divisions of numbers, and I just switch. If there's a better way, please somebody tell me, but this is working. I can, Rolodex style the numbers through, and it's a lot of work to prepare all this, I will say. Not just making the floss drops with the 2 holes punched, but also just all that thread. My goodness, but it's got to be done. So anyway, but I love the blues. Also, last week, I forgot to show you one of my main, well, not main, but here's one of my favorite full coverage pieces that I have. Oh, I need something for this. Okay, I'm going to pause, and I'll be right back in a second, and I'm going to show you the printout because I just think it'll be good to point to it. Okay, I am back. So this is called Girl. I just call it Window, but I think it's I think it's Flowers and Window. It's really plants. But anyway, it's by Carl Larsson. Here is what it looks like when it's finished. Carl Larsson was a Swedish painter in the late 1800s, possibly early 1900s. And he mostly did watercolors of domestic scenes. He did a lot of things, but that was like kind of what he became known for. And I found this on Scarlet Quince like I said before, I was a very ambitious beginner. I don't know what I was doing. This thing had 4 restarts, but I'm finally to where I am at a place I like it, and a count I like it, and I figured out a system because this one has all blends, the entire thing. I think of the 150 colors, 10 are not blends. So I had to figure that out. I tried it on different counts. I did all kinds of things. Let me show you where I'm at. Oh wait, I did have another one. Okay, I take it back. I do have 2 more after this. Okay, so I have 2 more after this. 2 more full coverage. I got confused by all the fabric. Okay, so this is where I'm at. This is going to be huge, and you'll see in a minute how huge. Let's see. Let me dry it this way. Okay, so here's about where I'm at. Yeah, okay. So this is where I'm at. Now, I don't know if you can tell from this. I'm going to get it nice and close. But that is what you get when you do 150 blends. Obviously, I don't have all the colors in there, but it's just gorgeous. It is a lot of work to prepare it. It's a lot of work to do it. But the colors are going to be gorgeous. I'll show you a printout, not a very good one, but I have a printout of the picture also here. I'm trying to have that glare show. Maybe like that. So as you can see, oh, I love this. I love this piece so much. In every way. And also what I love, this probably sold me, was I also knit. And on the table here is the girls knitting. It's just a cozy, sweet scene. Little girl with all her plants in the window. I love the colors. And I am working in this corner here. So I'm working on that chair and dresser here. And just kind of going up, going out. There are so many colors in this. When I first tried it, I started over here, and then I started over here, and I made huge mistakes. I finally landed on 18 count aida, and I'm gridding it myself. So it's just going to be, huge, and it's going to take forever, but it is one of my favorite cross stitch projects. So I'll just work on it for 10 years and hope I live to see the finish. I lied. I thought that was my last, but I had 2 more buried underneath. So this is my Hogsmeade piece that I have from Country Magic Stitch. Visit Hogsmeade, and I mentioned before, but I have all 4 of the Harry Potter ones. This is where I was at before, and here is where I'm at now. I put a little more in here, and I think maybe some here. I can't remember, but I got a little more done. I just love working on this. I love it, love it, love it. I love the block stitching. I also don't mind, I mean, the confetti is interesting, but the block stitching is really, you get so much done in such a short time, and it's not that big of a piece. How big is that? It's not very big, 28,500 stitches, I believe, and I'm at about 25%. Oh, I forgot. I was going to start telling you guys percentages, but I did not remember. So I guess I will not. Maybe next time. But this one is almost done. This is Copenhagen, and it's a Luca S kit. And I used all the kit things. I may have changed the fabric. I really can't remember. This is a nice soft aida. It may have been with the kit, but I don't remember. I think I switched the fabric, but I'm not really sure. So I'm almost done with this one. And so I'm at I'm probably closer to 85% now. And here's where I'm at. So here she is. I love this piece so much. So I have that corner. So I am color completing this corner here. So I'm right here. And I think I have 2 more colors completed now. Most of the colors that are left are about 200 stitches each, as far as the first like 10 or 15. So I do have a fair bit left to go. So, but this will be a finish. I'm going to work on this every week until it's done. So it's not that big either. I think it's, no, I don't know, but it's not that big of a stitch. And I was able to get this in Pattern Keeper with some fiddling, because they do give you a QR code to have the I will say though, I started off using the paper pattern. I don't like paper patterns as much, but theirs is excellent. If you've ever thought about getting a Luca S kit, they are phenomenal. The patterns are huge. The squares are huge. The paper quality is excellent. I tried first using going old school and using a marker and marking it off, and I could do it. And I was really impressed with the quality of the thread, the quality of the project, the clarity and the quality of the clarity in the paper, but also the quality of the paper. So highly recommend that. Okay, now that is my last one. So I really did have one more. So, I finished a baby blanket for my grandson that's coming. We actually finished it a while ago, but I've gifted it, so I just have a picture. So I'll put that up here. I made a little bear blanket. I actually made 2 blankets because I didn't know if we were going to have a boy or girl. So I made the blue bear blanket and a flower one, which I'm going to save that for future friends or granddaughters or something like that. It was really fun to do. I don't crochet much. I'm not very good at crochet. My edges are never straight. My stitches are never even, but it is fun and it is faster than knitting. So I'll probably continue to do mostly blankets and crochet. I also made some bonnets and cardigans and socks. I think I took pictures. I'm not sure, but those are gifted as well. So if I find the pictures, I might put those in there here, but I don't know. It's been a minute. I've got another little sweater I'm working on for the baby. I need to get that done. The baby's due in weeks. We just have weeks. Lots to do. My daughter-in-law was over here yesterday. And I can tell she's feeling the urgency to finish the things. And she's got some friends coming over to help her with the house. And that nesting is serious when you get to month 8. And I saw it. She was kind of anxious about it all. But I'm not anxious because it ain't me. I'm just going to enjoy having the baby. So been there, done that. Now it's her turn. So let's see. I think that's... I have one more thing. I actually do have some things that I bought from 1 2 3 Stitch, but I'll save that for later. I have so many things I'm going to start. Oh boy. As I go, plan on seeing lots of new starts. This is my whip up year. This is up. So I have some things that are not too big that I can finish. I plan on fully finishing some things. Don't we all? And but I do have lots of new starts in the works. I have the patterns, I have the fabric, I have the thread. I have them in bags. I just need to get started on them all. So I think I'll just do like one every couple of weeks and roll them in as I hopefully roll out also a couple of finishes. But I have been enabled, once again, this is from watching Helen D, the East Coast Crafter. She has shown this book 24 times. She's made several projects out of it. And I finally was like, I'm going to live in the woods. We're moving to the woods. We spend a lot of time in the woods. I love these. I'm going to make some of these also. So I bought this book. So it's by Max Pigeon, Cross Stitch in the Forest. And especially love the cover piece. I was thinking about not only for us, but also gifts. My whole family we just spend a lot of time in the woods. That's what we do for vacations. We go hiking. My son is a forester and a conservationist. Not a big surprise considering the way he was raised. My husband's a big outdoorsman. His whole family is outdoorsy people, and they're hunters, and my son's really getting in hunting right now because of the land we bought. We bought 100 acres of woods, basically, and it's great for hunting. So he's hunting a fair bit, and you know, we're moving to the woods. So speaking of that, I guess so that's kind of it for my cross stitch. So I'm going to transition into the short update about our building plans. And so if you stayed for cross stitch and you stayed this long, thank you so much. I really look forward to sharing projects in the future with you and my progress, my finishes, and thank you for just the encouragement again that you guys poured over me last time. I was blown away. I did not expect all that. I was hoping, you know, 1 or 2 people would comment, but a lot of you did, and it was very sweet. It was very encouraging. Some of you gave me great feedback too, which is why I got the microphone so that the sound would be better, but y'all could not have been nicer in your feedback. It was so helpful, especially those of you that already do floss tubing, and you kind of knew the things in a sweet way, how to make it better. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, so that's it for Flosstube cross stitch. So thank you again. And then real quick, family update. We have made a plan. I'm nervous and excited, but my son and his wife came over last week for dinner, and the plan was to discuss the land and future plans with that. And, you know, we bought this really for our kids. We bought the land. I think we'd be content to stay here forever. We have been in this house for 30 years. And we live on 5 acres on the edge of town. So I think for us, we could stay here forever. But my husband really wanted to invest in land for not just, not us really, but for our kids and for our grandkids. That's what his family does. They invest in family, and then they pass land down to generation after generation. So this is our foray into all that. So I'm excited. It is, you know, there is one house on this 100-acre place, and my son and my daughter-in-law live it. It's a little 1960s fixer-upper. And so we went over lots of ideas of things we could do, because we do need to sell this place to be able to afford to build. So we were trying to figure out, well, what do we do in between, right? Do we stay here? Because we don't, you know, Tim doesn't want to borrow the money. So what do we do? Well, we thought about building on. We thought about camper van. We thought about renting an apartment. We thought about, you know, lots of different options. We even talked about building a tiny house. And so my son and my husband had lots of ideas, and this is what we landed on. I think we're going to build a barn first and live in the barn. Oh my goodness. I'm about to go live in a barn. I think that's what we settled on. So I think we're going to build the barn about 1/4 mile or so from the kids. And then we will put living quarters in the end of the barn. So if you're picturing barn dominium, don't picture that because it won't be that nice. We're not doing that. Those are expensive. We're going to literally build a barn and put living quarters in the end. Probably a little space down below, a little stairway, a little space up above. And I think we might be living in about 400 to 600 square foot place. After living in 2,400 square foot for 30 years, I think we're going to talk about downsizing. That's going to be fun. But I'm up for the adventure. I think it'll be fun. And then the other thought my husband had, and my son, well, my son actually mentioned this. He said, okay, so we'll live there and then build. The house would be nearby. But my son thought, my husband said after we build the house, after we build the house, then we could use that space in the barn for guests, maybe even a rental, maybe even an Airbnb if it ends up being nice, although I don't know who would want to stay in a barn, but maybe somebody, I don't know. But my son said maybe that when they start working on remodeling their little fixer-upper, when the job gets a little hairier, maybe they could live in the barn lodging area temporarily while they're doing remodeling jobs. And I was like, that's a great idea. Of course, they could also stay with us, but just a thought. So we have lots of thoughts, lots of plans, but they're still all pretty far away because the road has to go in, the utilities, we got to dig a well. We're moving into the woods. There's nothing but trees there, trees and a hill. It's in a holler. I don't know if you know what a holler is, but we're moving out in the sticks, out in the boonies, in a holler, on the side of a mountain. And that has all kinds of issues connected to it. So one step at a time. That's my husband's motto. One thing at a time. First we do the roads, then we do the utilities and dig a well, and then we think about building a barn. So here we go. Anyway, that's kind of it. I think this is going to be a shorter video. I'm at 37 minutes and I've got some editing to do, so I think I can get this down to 30 minutes. Somebody's delivering a package. I don't want them seeing me doing this. Anyway, time to go run errands before the big ice storm hits. I hope that you all have a great weekend. Of course, who knows when you'll see this. But anyway, be safe, happy stitching, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Bye.